Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you a 2012 team preview for the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to start with their offense to see what we can expect from San Francisco this season. Alex Smith played his best year of football last season for the 49ers, kept the offense on pace, rarely made mistakes, took what the defense gave him, and look what the 49ers were able to give him. More weapons on the outside to help out his passing numbers. If they're able to improve in that area, this 49ers offense will take flight. You love the fact that Alex Smith has the athleticism, he's mobile, he's a smart guy. But you look at the backups they brought in. Josh Johnson, the former Harbaugh pupil out of University of San Diego, has the athleticism that you want in a quarterback, also has the accuracy, also has the whip of an arm strength, so you have to like that about him. And they still have the young developmental prospect in Colin Kaepernick. Keep an eye on him to make huge strides this preseason. The 49ers make their money on offense on the ground. Frank Gore, Kendall Hunter, they now are a part of a very talented and very crowded backfield. These guys, these two guys right there, Frank Gore and Kendall Hunter, will get their yards, they will get their touches. I'm interested to see what they do with the other guys they bring on the roster now. Michael James out of Oregon, he's going to add to this offense what Darren Sproles added to the Saints offense, that explosiveness on third downs, and he can also help out in the pass game. They also bring over Brandon Jacobs from the New York Giants. That, to me, is the interesting battle between he and Anthony Dixon. Somebody's going to lose out. Somebody's going to lose a roster spot. But I love their fullback, Bruce Miller. This guy didn't even play fullback in college. Was an outstanding outside rusher for Central Florida. Came in, had a very solid year as a fullback, and he's only going to improve in year two. The 49ers brought in a huge influx of talent this offseason, starting with Randy Moss. When you bring in a guy like Randy Moss, you instantly make your passing game better. Why? Because he commands a double team. He commands the safety over top. He opens up everything else for the other wide receivers on the field. I like that move a lot by the 49ers. Then you also bring over a guy in Mario Manningham that was money on third downs for the Giants and also showed up in clutch situations. You have to like that about a receiver that is not afraid of the moment. Then in the draft, in the first round, you take A.J. Jenkins. This is a guy that all he did for the University of Illinois, despite bad quarterback play, was move the chains. Did a great job of getting open, making plays after the catch. So I like this draft selection for the 49ers. Now you take a look at what they already have on the roster. Guys like Michael Crabtree had a very good year last year, led the team in receptions and yards. Then you have the two tight ends. You can't say enough about Vernon Davis. I think he's still running free against that Saints secondary, and a very underrated tight end in Delaney Walker. So now the 49ers passing game really doesn't have an excuse not to take off. If they call passing plays, these guys can get open, and they all are dangerous after the catch, in my opinion. And you also can't forget about the return guy in Ted Ginn. Get this guy the football in space, and he can make things happen. I'm very excited to see this 49ers passing game this season. The biggest thing I like about the 49ers offensive line is that every guy on this line is very athletic. They can get outside, they can move around. They do a great job of moving the pocket and pulling and trapping. I love the movement of the offensive line. Joe Staley made his first Pro Bowl last year as a tackle. This guy can play left or right tackle, in my opinion. Anthony Davis did a great job in his second year improving. Now you want to see what can he do in year three after his first full offseason. You also look at his draft mate, Mike Iupati out of Idaho, did a great job on the interior. Another guy with that supreme athleticism. So the interior offensive line of the 49ers looks to be impressive. The center, Jonathan Goodwin, the leader of that offense, gets everyone involved, gets everyone lined up properly. I think the battle this year is going to be on the right side. You look at a guy like Daniel Kilgore. He's in the battle for his starting job between guys that they drafted, a guy like Joe Looney out of Wake Forest, 6'3", 305, and also Mike Pearson, another guy. So the battle is going to be at the right guard position, and that's something that has to get solved in camp. But everywhere else on this offensive line, they're very tough. Normally in the 3-4 defense, you don't know who the defensive linemen are because their main job is just gap control, command double team, clearing out lanes for the rushing outside linebackers. But these guys for the 49ers don't buy into that. They actually get pressure on the quarterback. They're led by that guy right there. Justin Smith had an all-pro season last year, pushing the pocket, getting to the QB, very strong at the point of attack, one of the strongest defensive ends you'll see in the league. Ray McDonough is one of the quickest defensive ends / D tackles you'll see in the league. His first step is tremendous, and his hand placement against the offensive lineman is outstanding. Now, you look at the interior, Isaac Soapoga does a great job of pushing the pocket. They take him off the field on third down, but they do have some solid depth behind him. You look at Ricky Jean-Francois, a guy that can also get pressure on the interior. So you have to like the defensive line of the 49ers and what they do for those guys behind them, the linebackers. There's a reason why the 49ers were first in run defense and also second in points allowed. That means the front seven was doing a great job on early down and distance situations. Getting everyone in second and long, third and long helps unleash the pass rush. When you look at their linebacking core, they're led by Patrick Willis, the outstanding perennial All-Pro. He has a great running mate, young guy, Navarro Bowman out of Penn State, does a great job in stuffing the run as well, and also excels in coverage. Very underrated aspect. On the outside, you look at Ahmad Brooks. This guy was jettisoned from other teams, found a home in San Francisco, and is a playmaker on the edge. And you team him up next to last year's rookie Eldon Smith. Did a great job. He may start this year, which I think would do him a disservice. You want to keep him fresh, keep him as a backup, because his job is simply to rush the passer. You want him at his freshest to do his only job, which is to get to the quarterback. I love the depth they have behind these guys. And Paris Harrelson, he has two rookies he has to compete with this year. They drafted a guy, Darius Fleming, out of Notre Dame, and also Cam Johnson out of Virginia. So the 49ers not only have depth, but they're also very talented. Before the season, people were talking about the 49ers secondary like it was the weakest spot of the defense, and rightfully so. They had some question marks going in, but guys like Carlos Rogers and also Terrell Brown showed up huge last season. This unit was second in the league with 23 interceptions. That is impressive. All over the field, making plays, and it helps that you have an outstanding pass rush. But these guys can all play man-up situations. They're very tough, they're very physical, they're active, and they enjoy playing this style of defense. And there's some quality depth behind their frontline starters. Guys like Chris Culliver had an outstanding year as a rookie out of South Carolina, and then also bring over Parrish Cox. I was high on him coming out of Oklahoma State. Can he regain his form that made him a top draft selection? The safety position is outstanding. You look at a guy in Dante Whitner, does a great job close to the line of scrimmage, very good strong safety. I really believe that Pierre Thomas is still out there in San Francisco sleeping, because he put him to sleep on that play right there. But they also have Deshaun Golson, a guy that some say struggles in coverage, but he did a great job last year in getting interceptions, making big plays in the passing game. So I'm impressed with the secondary they have out there in San Francisco. The 49ers were literally a muff punt away from the Super Bowl last season, and virtually everyone returns to this ball club, and they add more talent on offense. So you have to be optimistic if you're a 49ers fan. The Niners have a great defense, great running game, an improving passing game, and quite possibly the best special teams in the NFL. So there's justifiable optimism out there in the Bay Area. Cause for concern will be the passing game. Can they really get this up to par to catch up with the running game? Can they become balanced? If so, then there's not a problem on the 49ers offense. But there's a lot of new pieces, a lot of playmakers. Do they have enough footballs to go around to keep everyone happy? We shall see. That's the biggest question mark I have about the 49ers this season. It lies on the offensive side of the football as far as getting the football to every one of their playmakers. I have the 49ers finishing first in the NFC West. Right now, they're the class of that division. There's some talent in that division, so they can't get complacent, but they're the class of this division, like I mentioned. And I really believe with that running game, with that defense, and if the passing game improves, the road to the Super Bowl this year will have to go through San Francisco. This is a team that no one wants to face because they force you to be physical on defense. They force you to be physical on offense. And now with that passing game, they are a triple threat. Let's not forget the fact that they have the best special teams in the league. Both kicker and punter made the Pro Bowl, and they also have a very dynamite returner last year. And again, bright season this year, in my opinion, for the 49ers.